Welcome everyone to the best. I don't know, can I say that way? One among the best YouTube channel dealing with information about scholarships, information about education, information about immigration, and we are going to have the best featuring with our own Joyce K. Canada, who is coming to share with us a lot of good news, a lot of information for studying, living, immigration in Canada. We know it is the dream of so many people at one point to go to locate to different countries. And today we are talking about Canada. The best way to know more about the country is to invite the person who lives in that particular country and share specifically what do they have. So I'm going to welcome my colleague, my friend, the fellow YouTuber, but only specializing a lot, I can say the expert in Canada. Welcome, Joyce.
Thank you so much, EBM. Wow, what an introduction. You make me feel so comfortable. Thank you so much, EBM, for having me here. My name is Joyce, or you can call me Joyce K. Nas. I live here in Canada. Originally, I'm from Kenya. I came here as a skilled immigrant. So I have settled here. Now I'm a citizen here with my family, and I'm so glad to be here today. Today, I'm not here as Joyce K. Nas Canada. I know I have another channel by Joyce K. Nas Canada. Today, I'm here as Joyce K. Study Abroad so that we can enlighten you on how you can come to Canada as an international student. Welcome.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you mentioned for people who do not know, they might confuse. You have 3 channels, and I'm going to share with those type of channel, and I want people to go and subscribe. And the channel, there are 3. There is number 1, which is the main channel, which I'm going to share with you here now. You can see on my screen here. This is the Joyce K. Nas Canada Immigration. This one has everything. Like if you needed to know about Canada, just put your bundle, your internet, and just take your notebook and start writing down what she's saying, because she's not just talking, she went through the processes of relocating from Kenya to Canada, become permanent resident, now the citizen of the one among the greatest country on earth, Canada. Then there is another channel, which is Joyce Content Creation. That one, I'm also going to share the link. And also there is another one, the Joyce K. Canada Study Abroad. And we are going to discuss about how one person can go to study abroad. That would be number 1. But 2, the opportunities after studies. So those are critical issues. People should understand those ones.
Thank you so much, EBM.
I will start asking questions. Yeah. For you didn't go as a student, but you have been there for a long time to know a lot about the education system and how, especially the international students. We come from developing countries. We come from Africa. We have our beautiful parts. We have our own challenges sometimes. Some people, for whatever reasons, want to move from one country to another country. Yeah. And the one among the ways is through education. So, number 1, why Canada?
Why Canada?
What makes Canada so special? I have videos talking about it. Don't come to America, go to Canada. But for your own words and the expert of Canada, why one person should go to study in Canada as international student, whether for scholarships or whether for self-financing for paying on your own as international student?
Wow. That's a very good question, because Canada, as you all know, has got, of course, among the top 10 or among the top 3 best education in the world. And the advantage of coming to study in Canada as an international student, the main reason, according to me, is that Canada offers you postgraduate work permit after your graduation. so that you can get absorbed to the system. Getting absorbed to the system means that after your graduation, you can work here for 1 year with that postgraduate work permit and then apply for permanent resident. Permanent resident in Canada is just like becoming a citizen because you have got all the benefits of a citizen. And then you only stay here for 3 years as a permanent resident and you can qualify to apply for citizenship. So I think in immigration system, among the other countries, Canada immigration system is the easiest.
The best.
It's not the easiest. Let me not say it's the easiest, but it's the best if you can get it. It has got so many advantages because today I did a video with a lady from UK. She's called Nanel. She's also a YouTuber. And when we were talking, she was telling me, even though UK system looks like Canadian system,
no,
in UK, for her to become a citizen, it is going to take her 6 years. Renewing her work permit every year. You know, it's so worrying because you don't know if you lose your job, it means you cannot stay in that country.
Exactly.
So in Canada, even when you get a job offer, you don't come here with the work permit. No. After getting the job offer, you go to the process of applying for PR so that you come here as a landed immigrant.
And I want to add something which you mentioned, which is a very unique. I can compare in the US, you get what we call OPT, optional practical training, after your studies is 1 year, and if you are science, STEM, a year and a half. But that doesn't give you opportunity to apply because we don't have an express entry system like that. So you don't automatically go and get it to get the apply and get permanent residence.
Yeah.
But also the time here, you get 1 year. Canada, you get basing on the length of the education.
Length of study, yes.
Yes. So which is giving, if you were going there for bachelor degree, you are studying 4 years, is 4 years work permit.
Exactly.
So that is the best system, in my opinion, in the world. So remember, that's what I usually tell people. Don't come to America, go to Canada. If you want to relocate and stay in a certain country, Canada can give you so many options for you to change in that particular way.
Exactly. True.
And we go still in Canada. How do a person from a normal background in Africa or in India or in China or in Latin America decide, okay, I want to go to study in Canada, but as international student or prospective student, how do I start to look for universities? Should I go for private universities? Should you go for public universities? Should I go for school? How do you go that application process?
That's a very good question. First of all, Canada has got 12 provinces. We don't have states like the US. Here we have provinces, 12 provinces, and each province has got its own way of applying to come and study. For example, I'm going to talk about Ontario today because I live here in Ontario. And in Ontario, they have got 2 programs or 2 systems that you can apply to come and study. You can apply through OCAS, is the one for colleges. It's Ontario colleges, and there's another one for Ontario universities. And also you can apply directly to the college. But according to me, I have been advising my people that apply through the system, a collective system, because if you apply through Ontario colleges system for the entire Ontario, it gives you an option of applying to 5 programs, a maximum of 3 programs in one college. So let's say, for example, you apply 3 programs in Cambrian College. By the way, Cambrian College is just 10 minutes from where I live. If you apply to 3 programs in Cambrian College, you remain with 2. The other 2 you can distribute in Seneca and maybe Conestoga. So at total, you have maybe 3 colleges, all paying just $95. $95 for the 5 programs. But when you apply through individual colleges, you pay $130 minimum, others $150. So you can imagine if you're trying to apply in 5 colleges, $130, $130, you see, so that the point here is to try to apply through either Ontario colleges or Ontario universities. The other thing you also need to note is that what you need to check out whenever you are doing your application, two main things. If you don't follow this, you will lose it. The first thing is that you have to look for a college that is DLI. DLI means it is a designated learning institution. A designated learning institution means that the government has allowed this college or this university to admit students from outside Canada. If you don't get that at the end of your training, you will go back to your home country. I have seen so many people make that mistake. Some private institutions have been given DLI, so it is not about either government or private. It's not about that. We have got some private institutions that have got DLI. So your search, when you're doing your search, is that go and search for, is this college DLI? That is one thing. The other thing is look for colleges that have got postgraduate work permit after graduation, or rather a college that is going to give you a postgraduate work permit after graduation, so that now we are saying that if you study here for 1 year, that college is going to give you a postgraduate work permit for another 1 year. If you study here for 2 years, it's going to give you a postgraduate work permit for 2 years. If you study here for 4 years, it's going to give you a postgraduate work permit for 4 years. Okay? And postgraduate work permit is a lifetime. It is only given once in lifetime. So if you decide to study 2 times, you'll never get it again. And that is why they are saying that after your initial studying, you have got an opportunity of becoming a permanent resident. So that after you graduate, you apply for permanent resident. The other thing is that even the program itself, leave alone the college, if you decide to come and study marketing, that marketing has to give you postgraduate work permit. If you don't search for that, you will be lost. Make sure that that program, which is marketing or whatever program you're coming to study, has got postgraduate work permit after graduation. Those are the key points.
I wanted to add something on that.
Yeah.
Which we talk with, many times together.
Mm-hmm.
Because the postgraduate work permit is given once, I usually tell people, and usually you have been telling to other people, don't rush to a shorter program.
Exactly.
Because if you go to a shorter program, 1 year, and then instead of 2 years, you have the option, because if you are going for masters, find 2 years masters than 1 year. Or if you take 1 year program, don't go rush direct to take the postgraduate permit, go for further education for expanded program. Maybe you take a short course, then take a full master's or a full PhD. That means in order to get a full longer work permit, so that you don't need to stress out while you have a work experience to get express entry in general.
Exactly. What happens, yes, it's true, IBM, what you're saying. What happens is that if you decide to choose a 1 year program, then they are going to give you a 1 year postgraduate work permit. So once you get let's say now, for example, you do marketing from December, maybe from January intake to the other January, you finish your course. Then you apply for postgraduate work permit. This postgraduate work permit is going to be for 1 year. 1 year is counted from the day you graduated, not from the day you get it. So when you get a postgraduate work permit, you're going to get it within 90 days after application. After graduation, it's going to come out within 90 days. So let's say, for example, it comes after 90 days after your graduation. So, and you are 1 year, it was supposed to count from the day you graduated. So it's going to mean that this 1 year of waiting, you'll have lost 3 months of counting your 1 year. So it means there's a time in your living here in Canada that you'll be here illegal or illegally. I hope I explained clearly.
Yes.
So that after graduation,
in the end, you'll be crying to go back to Africa. I mean, if you want to continue, there's no problem going back to Africa. But if your plan is to be there and you have already wasted 6 months, you are already staying there illegally, down the road, you cannot qualify to get the permanent residence.
Yes, because 1 year postgraduate work permit is going to be very short. So what I always advise, in case, because sometimes people do that, because sometimes we don't have finances enough to prove for maybe a 2-year program. And 1-year program, we know, of course, proofing is very easy, because I'm going to talk about that much later. But let's say, for example, now you finish, you come here 1-year program, you graduate. Don't rush into working. Take another one, renew the study permit, take another 1 year. They'll count you to have studied here for 2 years, and they'll give you a 2 years postgraduate work permit. So the first year, maybe you can do the main course, which is maybe marketing. Then the second year, you can even do something like caregiver program, so that you can have diversity of career. You can either decide to, because we know caregiving is in marketing. Nobody is going to deny you because you're already here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to be wiser. You need to choose at least 2 years, so that you can have now. Actually, 2 years, they give you 3 years work, graduate or postgraduate work permit. 2 years, I have seen somebody who got 3 years postgraduate work permit.
Yeah, so we know usual for many people, they want to choose one country over the other. And among the reasons which I tell people, as an international student, don't come to America, go to Canada, is the study, while you are an international student, you are allowed to work. And we know almost around the world, we allowed it to work part-time, 20 hours per week. But most of the countries, including US, don't allow spouse who is dependent to work. In Canada is a different case. Can you explain the Canada, the work permit, including for full-time your spouse?
Exactly. That is an advantage of coming to study here in Canada, is that you can actually bring along your spouse and your dependents. Your dependent in your nuclear, in your nuclear family, not your mother and father and siblings.
Oh,
it is your wife and your children. It's your mother, it's your wife and your kids. You can actually, let me tell you guys, I always advise people that first of all, get your own visa. Then after you get your own visa, apply for your wife. But let me tell you, when you have got money enough to prove funds, you can apply as a package. It is your right for you to get your because what you're going to apply for your wife, if you're coming to study as the man, your wife, you're going to apply for her an open work permit. Yeah. So that when you're going to school, she will be working full-time.
Yeah.
Full-time. So we are saying here that as long as you can, because the requirement for proofing of funds for you, maybe I can mention here EBM at this point.
You continue.
Yeah, how they calculate the proofing of funds is that for you as the main applicant who is coming as a student, they want you to prove that you have got 10,000 living expenses Canadian, a minimum of 10,000 living expenses for 1 year.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you should have tuition fees for 1 year available, either paid to the school or in your account, because some schools are going to allow you maybe to pay half, and others are going to tell you pay full. But whatever the case, the money should either be available in receipts you have already paid, or it should be available in cash in your account for 1 year, and then the extra 10,000 living expenses. Now, when you're bringing your wife, on top of these 10,000 living expenses, you should add 4,000 Canadian for your wife. And then every child is 3,000. So in case you have got yourself is 10,000, then plus your wife, that's 14,000. 2 children, that is 6,000. So if you can prove that you have got 20,000 living expenses for 1 year and tuition fee for 1 year, you can bring your wife and 2 children.
And I can give another technique in addition to that. You can decide also, like, if you have a good family, people to help you, if you have 1 child or 2 children, to stay there for a little bit, to start coming here first, both of you, because maybe the income, whatever.
Yeah, you can
come here.
Behind.
And then, because is you will be working part-time, because you are full-time student, is 20 hours, and your spouse will be working 35 to 40 hours per week. Yes. So that makes almost 60 hours. 60 hours per week. And you work just 15 dollars per hour per job. That makes you more than
even if you're making minimum.
That's what I'm saying. Minimum wage. Still good. you still will be able to survive well without any problem. So once you stay here for a few months, you will be having that income to bring your children.
Exactly.
So that usually I tell people, if you want to go overseas to study, to pay your own cash, not a scholarship, pay your own cash. Don't pay to come to America or to other countries. Pay to come to Canada, because and if you are married, you have that chance. One, your spouse to get the money, so that you can, more hours to work, and at the same time your spouse will be able to get a permanent resident quicker, because if you are studying bachelor degree for 4 years, so after 2 years of working experience, your spouse can get permanent residence going to 3 years. So you have more advantages in Canada than other countries.
Exactly, that's true.
Okay.
But you know, school generally studying in Canada and any other country as a foreigner, of course, it's always more expensive than coming here as a than being a local. When my son is paying 2,000 per year or per semester, an international student will be paying 6,000 or even more.
Yeah,
it is 5 times more than a local student. So this is why I always advise people in Canada. You have got an option. You can come to Canada as a student, but you also have another chance of coming here as a permanent resident. Let's say, for example, you already have an undergraduate and you're still very young and you have the points for express entry. So you can take advantage of coming here. You just have enough money to prove funds for coming here under express entry, so that you come here as a permanent resident. Then when you're here as a permanent resident, you can go to school at a very small fee, or sometimes nothing, because you can apply for loans. So that when you come here now, you can go back to school and study, whether you want a master's, a PhD, whatever you want to study as a permanent resident, you can study, and it's going to be very affordable. Do you know, coming to study in Canada as a PhD, to come and study PhD in Canada, how much it would cost you? 5 years or even 6 years because of thesis.
Yeah.
So in that case, I always advise people, instead of coming to do a master's and you're paying for yourself, come and do a postgraduate course for 2 years. After your master's, apply for postgraduate for 2 years instead of a PhD. Because after the 2 years, you will become a PR. Then when you are a permanent resident, you can now go and do your PhD for 5 years if you want. But paying for 5 years as an international student, my friend, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are very, very good points, and the things you have been able to share about that. So we just highlighted some few things like here about, you'll get work permit, you'll get about other things, but walk us through, you graduate. Once you graduate, you feel that the world is yours, you celebrate. That's how it is, everybody. So if that the world is yours, how do you move from just a graduate, getting good job, to the stage of owning the home or establishing yourself as a forever life in Canada? How do you move from that kind of?
That is very easy. That is very easy, because from the time you come here as an international student, you will be working 20 hours per week. So you'll have gotten used to the system of working in Canada. Even by the time you graduate, if you come here and you're working 20 hours per week, maybe the organization where you're working, by the time you graduate, they have already liked you. And you know, they want you because they know you at least. Instead of hiring somebody new, they know you by the time you graduate. So you're just going to have another interview where you'll now bargain for your income, for your salary, and then they absorb you. Finding job here, let me tell you, employers in Canada love employing internationally trained students. And Canada government has introduced a program. We are going to talk about this in a different setup. But I want to tell you that even Trudeau himself, our prime minister, has just announced that 2022 is going to benefit students more than anybody else. Because he has said that all the international students who are coming to study in Canada are going to have a program of absorbing them even in an easier way than before. Okay, so coming here as an international student, it doesn't matter. As long as you come here as an international student, you have got a way of staying here and making your life better. Something that I forgot, when you bring your children here during your time for your studies, as an international student, your kids will go to school for free of charge. If you want to take them to a public school, either English or French, they'll study for free. If you want to take them to a Catholic school, either French or English, they'll study for free, both primary school and high school.
Yeah, that's very good, important to mention.
Even as a visitor, when you come to visit here for a month or two and you bring your kids, they will go to school for free.
Okay, I wanted to ask one last question on the topic about study in Canada. Mm-hmm. There are some people wanting to study online, just from wherever they are. Professor is there on Zoom doing some classes, you do kind of those instructions. Mm-hmm. So if you study through that way, you are in Nigeria or you are in India, will you, when you finish, will you be given any opportunity if you want to go to Canada to get the postgraduate work permit and be able to work? Or because you study from online, you have to stay on your own country and continue to build the nation in your own country?
That is another advantage. It's another advantage that is there that I had also forgotten. And this one was introduced during COVID-19, because remember what had happened, the borders were locked and all that. So they say that you can apply to come and study in Canada, but you study from your home country. But the only thing I insist here is that you must get a study permit. Remember the IRCC, which is the immigration department, is different from the school. They don't know each other. So you can get admitted by your school, but IRCC is not aware. And then when you get admission, you continue studying and getting materials from the teachers and all that. But IRCC is not even aware that you're studying. So here I always insist that make sure that you get your study permit before you engage your teachers. Because if you don't get your study permit, they'll not recognize you. They'll say that we don't know you. So make sure you get your study permit. Then this one has been extended up to 31st of August 2022. We don't know whether it's something that they like. I think it's something that they like. So maybe after that, they're going to extend. They're going to extend. But when you have got your study permit, after that, you can always come. But they want by 31st August 2022, you need to be in Canada physically, unless they change.
Okay. And that is the other thing people should know. If you are going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, you have to do a due diligence of all research. You are paying your money. Even if I'm going to buy a camera or a pair, I mean, it's something for $50, $100 on Amazon, I have to do a review. I have to find if this is okay.
Exactly. Yes.
So you are paying $10,000 and you just go randomly. I don't know. Yeah. So I would like to appreciate you for sharing all these kind of opportunities. I believe many people are going to benefit with such information. And I want to remind the people, what you need to do is to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. The links are going to be on this particular video in the comment. We'll be able to find it there. So everything will be sharing at over there. So make sure that you are going to do that particular subscribe. Watch the videos. There are different 3 channels. There are different contents, even if they're talking about Canada. So don't be confused. You subscribe to one and then you chill. No. They are different. There is one is Canada's Joyce K Canada Study Abroad. That is different from Joyce K Ines Canada. So they are different, but it's just like myself. I have different channels. I have EBM Scholars. I have EBM Swahili. I have full funded scholarships. There are different channels, and we talk different things. So
yeah, the one for Canada immigration, the Joyce K Ines Canada, which is the mother, is for Canada immigration. Canada immigration. Then after that, I realized that people had so many questions and I didn't know how to attend to them. So many emails. Sometimes I would get like 1,000 emails in one weekend. Then on Monday, I'm like, where do I even start? So I think God just gave me an idea to open Joyce K Content Creator. This is a platform where people come now to ask questions direct, like the way me and EBM are talking here. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. East Africa time. So people come and they ask me questions and I'm able to answer. The ones that I'm not able to answer, I refer them to immigration consultants. That is all we do on that channel. Then the other one is now the new one, the baby, which is Joyce K Study Abroad. I have realized that when I mix them with immigration, so many people get lost there. But when I separated, now people are able now, the student, because you have already decided you want to come as a student, you're able to follow now separately like that.
That is the similar thinking I had when I started the different channel, because the bigger channel, the how big it is, someone wants to go as a visitor, someone wants to go for work, someone is looking about green
scholarship.
card.
Somebody wants scholarship, and it needs to be.
So you find out the bigger channel, you might post 20 videos about express entry, about whatever, and you post one video about PhD, and someone comes there, oh, this I don't find anything. So separating the education only, for those wanting education, they go there.